Well, the Port of Corpus Christi is a major player when it comes to the oil industry. It's the largest exporter of crude oil in the nation and the fourth largest port in the U.S. In 2015, the ban on U.S.-produced crude oil was overturned, creating a demand for American barrels of oil. With oil exports expected to surge over the next 5 years, Switzerland-based commodities trading house Trafigura is looking to bypass the port and cash in on America's oil. They proposed an offshore deepwater port facility in the Gulf of Mexico, and it's posing more questions than answers. It's a concern not only for the Port of Corpus Christi, but for several coastal bend agencies and area businesses.
So we have a lot of questions about this project, and unless or until those questions get answered, we are not going to be in support of this project.
Port of Corpus Christi CEO Sean Strawbridge is talking about the proposed Texas Gulf Terminals project by Switzerland-based commodities group Trafigura. The project is an offshore deep water port facility set to be located miles from shore, utilizing a single port mooring buoy system, essentially a floating inner tube to load Texas crude oil into very large crude carriers, bypassing the Port of Corpus Christi. If given the go-ahead, the project has the possibility to pose a major impact to the coastal bend economy and environment.
When you look at these offshore buoys, they're usually in venues that don't have the same type of infrastructure, quality of infrastructure that we have here in the United States, places like Africa and India.
The main concern is the buoy system's location. The offshore terminal is set to be just outside of Texas waters, circumventing Texas regulations. The Texas Commission on Environmental Quality is the environmental agency tasked with enforcing state rules and regulations. Because it's outside of Texas waters, TCEQ will have no authority ensuring safety measures will be followed. That's a problem for many in the coastal bend community, but not everyone is against the proposal. Claiborne County Judge Rudy Madrid is excited about what the project could bring to his county. He says 4 years ago, when he took over as county judge, the oil industry had crashed. Folks there lost their jobs and homes, hurting the Claiborne economy. With the oil pipeline passing through the county, Madrid sees the project as a way to get the county more revenue and oil-field workers jobs again.
We do not have the industry such as Nueces County and some of our surrounding communities. When you get a project like that, our tax base, that does wonders for us. Here in the next couple of years, we're talking about our immediate local citizens reaping the benefits that Corpus Christi already has.
With crude oil exports expected to surge over the next 5 years, the proposed Texas Gulf Terminals project will begin at the King Ranch, making its way out to the Gulf. It'll mean big bucks for Claiborne County, something the area is hoping to secure.
Aside from the wonders it's going to do for our community, think of what it's going to do for South Texas. That is a portal, that is a door process to getting our oil field back up and running.
Which all sounds good, but who will be affected if something goes wrong? The plan for the proposed buoy system is to be located close to 15 miles offshore. A major concern for the Port of Corpus Christi is, what if something goes wrong? What if there's a break in the pipeline? What's that going to mean to the tourism and fishing industry, not to mention the local businesses that rely on these waters in the coastal bend?
If there was a spill or some sort of a catastrophic event, being able to respond to that is going to take much longer, which means the impact is going to be much greater than if there was an event that happened onshore. When you look at ports all around the country and the terminals that are developed, whether it's a container terminal or a crude terminal or a finished product terminal like gasoline and diesel, they're all done in safe harbor.
Another major concern is Trafigura's track record when it comes to criminal environmental violations and trade sanctions, which are all well documented. Trafigura is using the Deepwater Port Act to get approval for the terminal and has 350 days from submission until a license could be issued. According to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, Trafigura's Deepwater Port license is deficient in terms of state oversight should an oil spill occur. The company must still hold another public meeting before the Secretary of Transportation, Elaine Chao, can issue the license. Despite discrepancies, the Texas Gulf Terminals project licensing approval is still unknown. But the unknown isn't stopping the Port of Corpus Christi from making progress. The port recently entered into an agreement with the Carlyle Group to develop the first onshore location in the U.S. Gulf capable of servicing the very large crude carriers, something Trafigura is hoping to service with its offshore terminal. Strawbridge says that they're making progress to get the depth and infrastructure necessary to service any carrier in the future.
We certainly are going to have the deeper water. It's a 100% certainty that we will be at 54 feet, and we are working diligently to get to minus 75 feet to be able to handle the very large crude carriers in a portion of the Corpus Christi port and the Corpus Christi ship channel.
Having the ability to service the very large crude carriers will open the Port of Corpus Christi to the global markets for U.S. oil producers, pipeline, supply chains, and customers, which could result in a $50 billion reduction in the nation's annual deficit. The port is hoping the move will mean thousands of jobs for the Corpus Christi area while adding billions of dollars into the economy.
And in Texas, Governor Greg Abbott will have the final say on the Texas Gulf Terminals project. He'll have 45 days to veto the license after the deadline for the final public hearing, which is April 3rd of 2019.